Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I'm back with another video here. And today we are back with a game review. The fifth preseason game here for the Flyers out of six. And they lose this game 2-1. In 5 games, they have scored 5 goals. And I think that's probably going to be the main topic of this video. If you notice, I'm now going with the handheld type of mic. That is something that I actually enjoyed a lot in the last video, since I was from my girlfriend's place, and I actually really enjoyed holding the mic. So that might be something I do moving forward, but we'll see. I really did enjoy that. Anyway, more of a younger lineup in this game. Realistically, the only couple vets in this game, Lawton, D'Angelo, and Justin Braun. Outside of that, I thought the Flyers played better in this game 5-on-5. I thought it was more of they had better opportunities. In recent games, they've had the last 3 preseason games, they were not good in the second period. And I thought they had a good second period. I thought they had a good 60 minutes in total where they at least had generated offensive chances. The game wasn't boring is kind of where I'm getting at. I thought yesterday's game against the Bruins was very boring in the sense for the Flyers where they really couldn't get much going after the first frame when they led in shots 8-2. Look, 5 goals in 5 games, it's definitely concerning. The Flyers haven't scored much. They've been shut out, and the most they've scored is 2, and that was in the first game. So it's definitely been concerning that the lack of not scoring. But Atkinson hasn't played a game, Couturier hasn't played a game. Majority of your regular guys have not played a lot, and they've gone with a lot of different mixes and different lineups every night, and I've mentioned that. So that's kind of where I'm getting at. But also, again, other guys haven't really stepped up. Guys like Owen Tippett, Tyson Forrester, I haven't really noticed them that much, if I'm being honest with you. Out of the 5 games, I think the most noticeable Flyers have been Frost, Noah Cates, and Sam Ersson, and Felix Sandstrom. I mean, those have been the main guys that I have really noticed. It's been a pretty tough preseason. The Flyers are 1-4. Lines in this game were Lixell, Lawton, and Tippett, Frost, Brooks, Forrester, Jackson Cates with Noah Cates and Wade Allison, Delorier, Legzinski, and Hoxton, Connaughton and D'Angelo, York and Bronze, Mullett and Belpedio. Ursan played the full 60 minutes in this game, who I thought looked really good. I thought he was solid for majority of the game. He had a handful of good saves. He seems really cool and calm and just in rhythm. Same with Sandstrom too. Obviously he gets hurt, but if Sandstrom were to be out for X period amount of time, say a couple weeks, maybe till November or something like that. Now I don't know. They haven't given any update, but I would assume Ursan would get the backup spot for the Flyers. First couple minutes in this game, it was pretty much all Islanders. They had a handful of chances in tight. Flyers get a power play. Shot by Lawton, ended up missing the net. I actually really like Tony D'Angelo on the power play in this game. He had a really nice zone entry that came in with speed. He had a nice kind of backhand sauce pass to the middle for Tippett in the slot. But outside of that, I really liked Tony D'Angelo in this game. I thought he played well. He had a couple good plays. Moving the puck up the ice. I talked about that the other day in the game that they played against Washington, him and Provorov. Now, he didn't play with Provorov in this game. He's still on like that kind of maintenance kind of thing. He hasn't really been on the ice much since that game. But the Islanders after that will get a power play. Really good penalty kill work by Owe Lixell there. Braun with a nice stick check. Noah Cates had a good clear, nice penalty kill work overall. Flyers at that point were 5 for 17 on the penalty kill. As of right now, the Flyers, up until this point, they are, I believe, 16 for 18 on the penalty kill in general. So they've been pretty good in that area on the penalty kill. Yes, 16 for 18. That is by my numbers, as I just found that in my notes. 16 for 18. So yeah, they have been pretty good on the penalty kill. As for the rest of the first period, it was not much going on, but the Flyers had a good couple of good extended shifts in the offensive zone. They finally were able to kind of get that set up. A few good shifts in a row. I thought Owe Lixell was very noticeable in this game, either on the forecheck, penalty kill. I thought he was really good. He had a handful of good plays. Forrester had a chance in title for Noah Cates wraparound chance, but outside of that, the Flyers had a pretty good period, I thought. Very similar to their period against Boston, where the other team didn't have as many chances. Shots were 9-7 in favor of the Flyers. They definitely had more higher quality chances. I liked Oilexel, and I thought Igor Zamula had a pretty solid first period as well. As for the second period, I thought the Flyers had a good opening shift. Lawton had a nice play to kind of getting into the zone. Scrum behind the net penalty was originally called, and then Flyers would get a power play out of this. It was 2 minutes. I believe it was a rough, and then I believe the other one was a slash on Wallstrom. That probably is either wrong or I couldn't really tell because the stream was so very bad, I will say. It's very frustrating in 2022 when you have the amount of opportunity to stream a game and have different people behind it, and we have really bad quality. We don't even have like TV rights or anything like that. It's very unfortunate in the year that we're in, and how like just how bad the technology was for the two streams that we had to stream for the Flyers games. I mean, at least there was a stream, I will say that, but definitely really couldn't see much in this one. I really couldn't even tell Hayden Hodgson from Morgan Frost or Noah Cates or Cam York, any of the guys in the 40s. It was very tough because they're all just blended together with the number. So that was very unfortunate as the game went on. But as for that power play, the Flyers get a 5-on-3 and they score. Tony DeAngelo scores his first unofficial first goal as a Flyer. Scores from the high slot. Nice setup. Just, down back to back. Just got, it was just, straight pass from goal line to goal line right behind the net. Right back out to DeAngelo. And he ended up scoring on that one. So 1-0 Flyers. That would be their only goal of the game. I thought they controlled the play for most of that period so far, as the power play definitely helped. But I thought Urson, again, kind of not really kept the Flyers in it, but he had a couple of saves. He had a nice save on a Salo chance, which Barzal was just dangling around the Flyers for a minute or two. Hodgson took a penalty on that. And then Palmieri would score off an unfortunate play the Flyers couldn't clear, when the majority of the other penalty kills they were able to clear. And that's what seems like what's been the problem, is once they can't clear, the puck's going in the net. That's what I've seen so far in the penalty kill, is that every time that they've at least had a chance to clear and they don't, the puck ended up going up in the net. So they ended up scoring here. Palmieri scores, and they were 15 for 18 on that. And actually the Flyers, I correct myself from earlier, they were 16 for 19. So overall, the penalty kill has been pretty good. So 16 for 19 in total. Mayfield would score a couple minutes later for the Islanders and make it 2-1. Outside of that, that was an unfortunate play because Hodgson, again, it was either Hodgson or Frost. I couldn't really tell. Ended up breaking a stick on a point shot and then ended up finding it out with a bunch of players in front. Urson didn't really look like he saw it either, so it was an unfortunate play. Noah Cates ended up having a chance in tight, it looked like Frost on that one, but outside of that, I didn't think it was a horrible period for the Flyers. I thought both goals were kind of unfortunate because, again, I thought they were playing well. It was kind of a mad scramble in front for the first one, and Urson almost got back and stopped it. And then the second goal from Mayfield was kind of just, again, bunch of bodies in front, and Urson didn't really look like he saw it. So I felt like it was unfortunate for the goaltender because the Flyers had some good looks, and I thought they were at least maybe would have been able to either tie this or maybe keep the lead or maybe add to it when it was 1-0, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, and shots were 8-6 in favor of the Flyers in this period, 17-14 in total. As for the third, they, again, not as much offensive pressure as they would have liked. The only really handful of chances they had late were the two for Lixel, where he ended up finding Noah Cates in the slot and then DeAngelo with like 1.8 seconds left. But outside of that, the third period, the Flyers really couldn't get much going. They ended up taking a penalty. This is where the 16 for 19 comes in. So they had, again, really nice kill there. They ended up taking a penalty in the offensive zone. They had a couple looks at the net, but realistically, not really much there for the Islanders. And outside of that, Zamula ended up getting hit up high on a Bailey slap shot, where it looked like he just tried to take a one-timer, and it looked like it either deflected off his stick or maybe off the Flyer kind of crashing into the net as well, and ended up hitting Zamula. He was okay though, and he, outside of the injury updates, he's been fine. I thought Urson was really solid tonight. I mean, just overall, just Felt like he was good in the net. He didn't really give up many rebounds. It was just generally, I feel like he's played pretty solid. And kind of like what I said earlier too, with Sandstrom being hurt, I would assume that he probably gets that spot because I've liked Ursan over Grosnick. But outside of the preseason so far, and I want to talk about this, is the Flyers again have two plays late, ended up not scoring. And again, they've only scored 5 goals in 5 games. You know, look, I'm not gonna over criticize on a preseason game when it's the first game that A, Torts was behind the bench, and B, they haven't really had many regulars play. But it's concerning in the fact that, you know, how bad they struggled last year at scoring, and also just in general of certain guys not stepping up. So again, what I have liked though is I like D'Angelo in this game. I've liked Frost. I've liked Noah Cates. I've liked Cam York at times. I've liked both goaltenders really well. Again, the penalty kill being 16 for 19, I really have liked that. I think they've done a really good job of defending at the line, having good stick work, being able to clear when they can, and just in general, just being efficient. They haven't really let teams set up at all, and I feel like they've done a really solid job so far of clogging the middle, and that's been with all different units. So it seems like Shaw has kind of implemented something different so far. Again, I don't want to get too positive on that because again, it is a very small sample size of only 5 games in the preseason, but I think you kind of get my point. So let me know what you guys think below. I mean, look, I feel like everybody's going to have different thoughts on this type of goal scoring, I guess you could say, drought that they've had through 5 so far. But let me know your thoughts because I think everybody's going to have kind of a different thing. I'm not trying to overreact to it is kind of what I'm getting at here is that it's kind of tough with everything that's kind of going on in the injuries and stuff. Now, Tuesday's game, I would expect more of a veteran lineup. You know, if Carter Hart can go, I'd say he plays. If Cam Atkinson can go, I'd say he plays. Most of the guys that you probably haven't seen so far should be playing in that game. Guys like Hayes, you know, well, not saying that we haven't seen much of them, but all the veterans and things like that. So let me know what you guys think below. Again, Flyers fan club meeting this week is Wednesday, October 5th. You can meet current Flyers Zach McEwen. That starts at 6:30 at Harris Casino in Chester, PA. And again, starts at 6:30, and it is a registered members only, so you'd have to sign up at the door. For the podcast this week, again, really good show this past Friday. Please, you can call 267-939-1216. Leave any comments or questions below for the Flyers if you have so. Yeah, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers as well. So, again, we've been getting really solid numbers recently. So, again, thank you all so much for all the support. And I'll talk to you all again soon.